Hi, this is Imre Galambos, Professor of Chinese at the University of Cambridge. And this video is about how to do the proofs of your article you're about to publish. Although theoretically this is a simple concept, which consists of you rereading your typeset article and fixing the typos and smaller mistakes in it, I still get a number of questions about how to do this in practice. Is there a better way to do this? Are there things not to do? Can you do it the wrong way? Well, the answer to all of these three questions is a definite yes. And so if you're interested in the details, keep watching. But before that, please hit the subscribe and like buttons to help the channel grow and be notified when new videos come online. Okay, so let's dive in. If you're dealing with the proofs, that means that the article you submitted has been accepted and then has been typeset by the journal, and it is this final typeset version that has been sent out to you for checking. This is the form in which the article will appear when it's finally published. So that means that your article is definitely coming out. They cannot not publish it at this point, which of course also means that you cannot take it back either. The same process also applies if you're publishing a book or a chapter in an edited volume. And in those cases, instead of the editor of the journal, you would be dealing with the staff of the publisher or perhaps the scholars who edit the volume. So what are the things to watch out for? I can think of three things you need to pay attention to. And all three of them are something inexperienced authors often have problems with. Number one is keep changes to a minimum. Checking the proofs is one of the last stages of the authoring process. This is the point where you still have some opportunity to make changes and to fix glaring mistakes. But this is certainly not the stage where you could rewrite the article. You can only fix the most obvious typos and mistakes. So you should not engage in polishing your style or adding footnotes or additional references unless this is absolutely necessary. From the journal's point of view, once your paper is typeset, it becomes very costly and ineffective to make changes, and the journal would want to avoid you making unnecessary changes. Sometimes they expressly limit the number of changes, say to 30. So respect their request and make their life easier. Of course, there might be exceptional cases when you discover something totally wrong, something that you cannot fix by replacing one or two words. But on the whole, you should aim for using this process for what it is intended to be used, that is, fixing minor mistakes and typos. Point number two is check the proofs thoroughly. Your article is typeset by a professional, and you should trust that they do a good job. But you should always, and I mean always, take the time to read your article carefully, because you will inevitably find some mistakes, even though you've been through the same article dozens of times at earlier stages. Some of the mistakes will be your own, you just did not spot them before. But now that your article is in a different format, in a different font and different page size, some of the mistakes will be easier to notice. Also, you're likely to spot some mistakes after having taken a break from working on the article. From a distance of a few weeks or months, you're more likely to notice issues you have overlooked before. Other mistakes will have been introduced by the staff of the journal during the typesetting process. Common issues include joining separate words together, or including part of the main text in an intended block of quotation. And there might be also font problems with non-alphabetic scripts, such as Chinese, Japanese, or Russian. In any case, you should resist the temptation of not reading through your article carefully. No matter how busy you are, this is a job you absolutely need to do, and do it well. It will only take you one afternoon, but the results will be out there for good. My point number three is do this on time. It is a basic fact of life that the proofs will arrive at the worst possible moment. You will be busy with all sorts of other things. Your in-laws will be in town, your child will be in a hospital, you will be teaching several courses, and may even have a conference presentation within a few days. And this is especially frustrating because quite a bit of time may have elapsed since you've had your last communication with the journal. And you may have the impression that communicating with the journal is just a really slow process. After all, the entire publication process may take well over a year. And this is why it's quite a bit surprising when they send you the proofs and say that they need them back next week. I have even had cases when they ask back the proofs within 3-4 days. Clearly, this is not ideal, but it is common. Whatever the reason may be, you will feel that this request for checking the proofs will come at the worst possible moment. and so you feel that you don't have the time to deal with it immediately. But you should do it anyway. And, as I said earlier, do it thoroughly. After all, you're one of the main beneficiaries of the publication of your article. I guess my point is that you need to invest this last bit of time for your article to come out in print, and you should not put this task off and be late with it. And then there is of course the issue that in some cases there may be another round of proofs, so you need to do the whole process again. Okay, so these are my 3 suggestions what to do when you receive the proofs. What is it then that you should not do? Well, the opposite. 1. Make excessive changes. 2. Not read through your proofs or do it in a very casual way. 3. Not send them back in time. Doing the first and third of these will likely earn you some negative points with the journal and possibly fellow authors. The second point, that is not taking the time to carefully check your own paper, will not be noticed immediately, but on the long run this is the most serious problem. And while it is almost impossible to fix all the typos, the more of these there are, the worse you come off in the eyes of your readers. So the point of this video is to urge you to take the process of checking the proofs seriously and to devote all your attention to it. It is a brief but very important process that has the potential to seriously detract from the value of your article. And it is your job to do everything you can to avoid that. Alright, let me know if you have any questions or if there are topics you want me to talk about. Thank you for watching and see you next time.